Hi everyone, welcome to UPSC Tree. UPSC has, so this is a session on essay analysis of UPSC this year, and the essay have been tough and they have been making the news. So let's have a look at them and see how we can answer them. I am not going to do an elaborate strategy over these things, but nonetheless I will give you enough idea so that समझदार को इशारा काफ़ी है, so you will be able to draw up your conclusions. So let's begin. First one, process of self-discovery is technologically outsourced. Now there are two components in this essay. Self-discovery is essentially what? Self-awareness. And self-awareness, there is a, if I have to begin this essay, I can begin with say a quote, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. We all think that we know ourselves, but self-discovery or self-awareness is one of the most difficult tasks. And if you look at history, Buddha has to undergo so many things to understand and have a reach a point where he knows himself, or he was on the path of self-discovery. And if you look at all the great souls, if it is Gandhi or anyone else, they had their phases of self-discovery where they have thought, they have toiled, and they wanted to know more about themselves. That is why they say knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom, and self-discovery or self-awareness is the most difficult part a human being can undertake. So you can use these quotes and examples, but then the question doesn't stop there. The question is taking us self-discovery and technologically outsourced. Now we live in the age of social media, right? So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all those things that we use today, they create a profile based on your likes, based on your dislikes, what you want to watch, what are the other things you do, all these things. Okay, so they know more about you. That's what they call it, the profiling of individual users. For example, all these social media, they don't ask you any money, they don't cost you anything, and when they are not asking you any money, or they are not selling you any product, then you are the product. Your profile is the product. That's how they target you with their arts and everything else that we already know about. Okay, and that's how we are doing a self discovery as well. If you look at YouTube or if you look at Instagram, we have a new kind of things coming up. Say for example, influencers that we call them. Okay, so or in YouTube people have been doing their self discovery, so that also you can connect here. But to make the essay more interesting, if you ask me, I would have done what? I would have gone for a say very interesting one. If say I would have discussed this essay in say 3 or 4 parts, and all those parts would have been say similar to somewhat like if Buddha had social media, or say if Buddha had Instagram and Gandhi had Twitter. Something on those lines I would have given the subtitle, and I would have done the analysis. Okay, but then it is very risky if you haven't written these kind of things and you are not good with words. It's very risky, and but it is one of the interesting topic to discuss. So specifically, what does it mean by self-discovery and how it is technologically outsourced? That you have to connect, and you have to make the essay more interesting. I told you that subtitles, right? If Buddha had Instagram, or Gandhi had Twitter, or Mandela had say TikTok, how the world would have been, or how the world will look like. Okay, just but then to have this kind of thought then and there and come back and write it, it's a difficult task. But then it's not. It's possible. Okay, or it's doable at end of the day. So I would have done it that way. Next question, let's go to the next question. Philosophy of wantlessness is utopian, while materialism is a chimera. Beautiful topic, and specifically if you look at the question, most of the students would have attended this question because it is an environment question, development versus environment debate, and less of development and environment, more of materialism versus minimalism debate. In here you have to talk about carbon footprint, per capita energy intensity, and all that. And so for example, if everyone on the earth lived the standard of life of a US citizen, we will be needing 5 planets to sustain. Okay, so the one earth is not enough. So that you have to discuss. And apart from that, you can bring in some more interesting concepts. Earth overshoot day. Okay, carrying capacity of the earth. These are the things you can bring in. So this is the environment essay, and this is a very time tested topic. It is similar to the Gandhian quote that earth has enough for everybody's need but not enough for anyone's greed. So this is a need versus greed essay as well. So pretty easy to discuss too. Many people would have attended it, I think. Let's go to the next question. Perception of me is a reflection of you. My reaction to you is an awareness of me. Very interesting topic. And if you look at topic number 1, self-discovery, it's talking about self-discovery. And here in topic number 3, it is talking about awareness of me. 20 to 30% of the content is going to overlap here because it is all about self-awareness, isn't it? So, perception of me is a reflection of you. I have a quote I usually tell students that perception is stronger than reality. What we think is more strong than what the reality is, or what the reality tells us. Okay. So how do you discuss this kind of topic? Again, I told you 30% overlap will be there, and perception of me is a reflection of you. What do you think of me? So I usually tell people, if you are a truly intellect, when you are non-judgmental, that means it is easy to judge people. It is easy to judge anyone. And how do we judge others? We have our own standard, right? We have within us we have some standards, and according to that standard we take it as a scale and judge others. Okay, if that person is doing better than us, then he is a great individual. If he is doing certain parts not better than us, he is not so good. Okay, that's how we judge, and we as human beings too often jump to the conclusions, but it is not a sign of a true intellect. A true intellect is a person who entertains two contrasting thoughts without throwing a system error. If you put two contrasting thoughts into a computer or a system, or it will throw up an error. But there is the difference between man and machine, and the man should be able to entertain two different kind of thoughts without being biased about it, without being judgmental about it. So it is talking about judgments also. And what you judge of me or what you make of me is essentially a reflection of you. How do you see society? What are your values? What is your prejudice, bias? That's how you are going to judge me. Okay, that's what the essay is all about. And my reaction to you is an awareness of me. And how do I react to you is essentially my awareness within, or self-awareness we can speak of. Okay, and how do you answer this question or essay? For this one, you have to discuss prejudice, bias, high school bullying in workplace, and all racism, all those things. Okay, all those things which are product of perception, that you have to discuss here. Okay, stereotyping. Okay, say for example, these people are not good, or these people ये सब चोर हैं, ये यहाँ से है तो ये पूरा चोर है. Okay, this kind of things. Okay, stereotyping, bullying, prejudice, bias, and you have to give a lot of examples. And how do social media, we live in the age of social media, and social media out of every 3 messages posted on social media, say Twitter, so 3 messages, 2 of them are venomous, or trying to attack. So it is essentially trolls, we call them, right? Social media trolls, cyber bullying. These are the things you have to bring in and discuss. Give some examples, give some good examples from news and all that, and that's how you can discuss about it. Okay. Say I'll give an example. A corrupt person thinks that sab chor hai. If I am corrupt, then I will think that everyone else is corrupt. Or if I am disloyal, I will think that everyone else is disloyal. That's how we see the world. That's how our prejudice or bias works. Okay. So the essay is all about that. And as I told you, these are the examples you can use to discuss this essay. Let's go to the next topic. Real is rational and rational is real. It is a quote by Hegel, but many of the students who attended this one, I think no one would have attended this topic. Real is rational, rational is real. Very this question when in the times of exam, attending this kind of question is difficult. And Hegel was someone who wrote a lot in obscurity, confusing ways. Okay, so if you ask me, this is a topic you should pass it on. Don't attempt it at all, and it is not safe to attend as well. Okay, so let's go to the next topic. Hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. So this is essentially talking about the power of mother and motherhood and how they can impact the world. If you look at a child, mother is the first teacher, and this is the way you have to deal with the essay. And role of mother, and how that mother shapes a particular individual's child's life, and how that individual or child, while growing up, how he impacts the society. So you have to find out great personality and about their mothers specifically. Whenever you have enough number of examples of great personality and great mothers who have shaped them or built them into this great personality, if you have that kind of examples, attend this essay. Otherwise, don't touch it, because whatever you write, it is going to be repetitive in nature. Okay. It is a poem by William Ross Wallace, but nobody knows that. Okay. So, to answer that essay, great people across the world, okay, and you find great mother behind them. Okay, if that combination you have, say 6 or 7 good examples, then only attend this essay. Otherwise, leave it. That is my advice to you. Next question: what is research but a blind date with knowledge? Beautiful topic again. There is a saying that try again, fail better. Okay, that is what very true for any researchers you find across the world. They fail every day, each day, million times, until that one single day when they hit success, or when they find success. Okay, so 99, that's what Aristotle told, right? 99.9% of researchers' work or a scientist's work is failure, essentially failure. That's what Edison also told us, that I have not failed, I have just found 10,000 ways to that didn't work. Okay, so failure is not fatal or not end. It gives you knowledge to how to progress further. That is the whole idea of it. But to attend this essay, you have to have life story of good number of scientists, proper life story of good number of scientists, and how they failed, or how they failed so many times, but through persistence they have enhanced their knowledge and essentially found the success. That is how you have to going to discuss this one. Okay. Next, history repeats itself, first as tragedy, then as farce. Beautiful topic. If you look at UPSC and OPSC students or aspirants, they usually avoid history because some topper told them that don't read history and all. But I would suggest do a holistic reading at least once in your life, so that, and read everything that is there in the syllabus, so that you have a holistic understanding of things. People don't read world history because sir question तो नहीं आता है, क्यों पढ़ेंगे? ठीक है, true also, but then for the interest of things, sometimes you learn for the sake of learning. Okay, for the sake of learning, then and only then you will be improve yourself. Okay, history repeats itself, first as tragedy, then as farce. The beautiful way to start this essay, we know the world came to know the horrors of World War I. That was history repeats itself, first as tragedy. So World War I was tragedy, World War II was farce, because the Treaty of Versailles, that is signed with Germany to end the World War I, was essentially a humiliation to the German nationalism, for the German people. That the seeds of rise of Hitler was there in the treaty itself. Okay, so history repeated itself as in the form of World War II. That you have to show that we don't. We learn what we learn from history is that we learn nothing. That's what is true over here. Okay, first as tragedy, then as farce. World War I was a tragedy, World War II was a farce, because the whole world knew that we are trying to squeeze out Germany and trying to humiliate Germany. And if you look at all the wars, one major cause was humiliation. Okay, so that gave to that prepared the atmosphere for the rise of Hitler, and then we know what happened after that. Okay, so that's how you can start your essay. The history repeats itself, first as tragedy, then as farce. And you can take Indian example, Battle of Plassey. We have fought 3 battles over there. Many other examples are there. Okay, very good number of examples are there. But again, you have to have knowledge of many good number of wars, and where repetition of war is because of some false way of dealing with those things, okay, or false management of after war, or bad management of after war effects, okay. So history repeats itself, first as tragedy, then as farce. Pretty decent topic. And 1200 wars, if you know say 4 or 5 wars, or as I told you, World War One, World War Two, events of those things, okay, and then Battle of Plassey, 3 battles over there we fought over there, or any other from other things also you can bring it, and make this essay work. But you have to have a knowledge of history. There are better practices to best practices. Then again, just like the real is rational, this is another obscure topic, and I would advise not to prepare for it, not to attend it at all, okay. Better practices to best practices, okay. This doesn't sound like an essay as well, okay. But it talks about challenging the status quo all the time, and have that attitude within you to find to better yourself. That is the whole essay is all about, okay. It is not that it is not doable, it is doable, but not very interesting one, okay. So I hope I gave you enough idea to or the idea is not to discuss the essay in complete detail, but give you some idea to open up your mind and help you understand the essay nature of the essay. So I hope, and if you have any doubts, always you can reach out to us. And thank you.